you. Thank you. Well, first of all, that's the sound of one hand clapping. I had to get that out of the way and done with first. 8 years ago, I lost my hand in a car accident. Up until then, for many, many years, I've been playing the guitar. And all I can say is that right now, I play more than I've ever done before in my life. It's great. I've been asked many times, why didn't I give up? And it's not that I gave up, it feels more a case of music didn't give up on me. I understand now how music is my connection with myself, and therefore my world. It is my essential nature, it's who I am, it's my vitality, it's my joy, it's my inspiration, it's the life that breathes through me, if you like. And in that sense, it's my innate gift to share. Why should a change in physicality prevent our expression, which I believe is our essential nature, our birthright? I believe to honour, recognise, and express what we hold inside of us is a very creative and a very vital, life-affirming energy. Music has always been a vital force in my life. I've played countless live performances with other musicians and on my own. I've got 2 albums out. I had 2 albums out in the UK. It's what I did. But to be quite honest with you, I forgot what I enjoyed about it. I felt like I was on a treadmill trying to keep up with the music scene. And I felt pretty dull and lifeless. So, for pretty much a year, I put music aside and I was in New Zealand. And I had developed other skills and sources of income. And one morning, getting a lift to work, the car that I was in hit black ice, skidded, hit a tree. Ouch. Well, my collarbone and my ribs were broken, and my hand was so damaged, obviously, it had to be amputated. A phone call from the policeman the next day in hospital told me I was lucky it wasn't my head. Thank God for that. That the passenger side of the roof had pretty much caved in. So, well, I feel really lucky to be here. However, I did feel huge grief for my loss. I felt shame. I wanted to hide. I felt like a freak. I felt deformed. I wondered if I was to blame. You know that school of thought that says we create our own reality? Yeah? Made me wonder what I could have done differently. However, some part of me knew that it wasn't what happened to me, but how I dealt with it now that would make the difference. So lying there in hospital, I knew that if I was to get through this, if I was to get through the phantom pains and the grief, that first of all I had to let the grief out without resistance. I had to do the housework on those emotions. So I asked them to bring my hand to me, which they did in a very nice little box. And I touched it, I said goodbye, and I sent it off with a white rose. And then the grief really came. And this howl, this very, very deep and very primal sound, this howl came out of my body. And I shook. It was amazing, very powerful. Well, over time, these waves of grief and the phantom pains I experienced diminished. I had homeopathy for 2 weeks, which supported that whole process. And 5 weeks from when the accident happened, the phantom pains and the grief diminished and went for good. And that was that. Well, sometime later, I went and visited the tree that we'd hit. And I noticed that it too had lost a limb. Well, it was winter, and I felt like I was going through my winter. I felt like I'd been pruned. However, I remember looking at this tree and seeing that it was still alive and it was carrying on with life, and it was so beautiful. And I knew for this tree that after winter lay the hope of spring. And it made me wonder what my spring could possibly look like. And I knew I had a choice, either to focus on what would bring me joy, what would bring me new life, or on what would keep me down. Well, I wanted to feel joy again. I wanted to feel that yes to life. And I found the more I listened inside to what that joy could be like, the more I wanted to immerse myself in music once again. So eventually my spring day did come, and I was out walking, and I started humming a melody, and I started playing with some words, and I heard for the first time how possibly the guitar could be played. So I got home, I retuned my guitar, and 1 hour later, I'd written my first song on the guitar since the accident 18 months before. It's great. I was back to playing music. Well, during that time also, a friend asked me to show her some chords and rhythms on the guitar, and a lady asked me to give her a voice lesson. Well, I'd never taught before, and I was surprised at how much I enjoyed it. And I didn't realise how much more I had to give musically until I was asked to share it. So I started teaching more people, and the more that I did, the more energised and alive I felt, and the more joyful things I wanted to do. By honouring my own connection, that led me to help others through music, and in turn gave me so much back. That was such a true gift in my life. I've now taught in schools, I run voice workshops, I teach one-on-one, I teach one-to-many. I've been teaching recently a young girl with just 3 fingers on each hand, which is a total joy and privilege. And I've since got another 2 albums out in the UK. Music has opened up my life in a way that I could never have imagined. I wouldn't say that I'm glad that this happened, but had it not, I would not have rediscovered that connection with myself, with my essential nature, and therefore the other gifts that I had to share and didn't realise. And therefore I wouldn't turn the clock back for anything. Okay. So what helped? A proper grieving process, certainly. A bit of homeopathy. And most definitely the love and the support and the connection I had through my friends and my family network. I couldn't have done it without them. So I believe we all have a story, and that's my story. And right now I'm going to play for you that very first song. Okay, so this is going to sound a little bit different. And you can hear me okay, yeah? Great. So this song is called In the Company of You. As I said, it's the first song that I wrote on the guitar after 18 months. And it's basically my love song to life, for life itself, for really the blessing that that being alive really is, hey, because it can really change so quickly. So, here we go. Just a little bit. People ask me many times, how do you play the guitar? And I say, oh, with love. All you need is love. Tuesday afternoon, this gorse is all in bloom. A tapestry of scent awakes my senses, and I bask contented in this company of you. your hair shines like honeydew, and your eyes recall Pacific oceans, and I am blessed to be in this company of you. And I'm waxing lyrical on this miracle of flowers so small. And I'm waxing lyrical on this miracle of loving it all. 'Cause your hot skin feels like amber, and your hair shines like honeydew, and your eyes recall Pacific oceans. I am blessed to be so blessed to be in this company of you, in this company of you. Thank you. Thank you.